sorry, I wrote it down over here. Yeah, okay, so how do you, as a company, deal with changes in the marketplace, right? I think each and every one of these folks here, at some point, is going to go work for maybe an organization. Maybe they want to be an innovator inside an organization. We have a new normal, right? Business as usual in the old days has changed as a result of COVID. So what are some of the ways that your company is managing employees and keeping talent, but not letting them totally run the ranch in terms of, see you later, well, you can come into the office once every 5 years?
Yeah, and I think there's a tightrope there, right? So COVID has changed the world in terms of how, not necessarily how companies think about their interaction with employees, right, and where they work and how they work and stuff, but also how employees think about the ways they want to be able to work. And I think that the broader industries are still trying to figure out what works best. I don't think there's an answer for what works best. I think it's depending upon the person and their needs and how they want to work, the company will have to eventually adapt to that person's want to work that way. And so what we've kind of done at Ameriprise is we're a 3-2 system. So we're 3 days in the office, 2 days out. I'm fully virtual. I'm kind of one of the odd duck people, and we have other fully virtual as well. So they're trying to figure out that contract, right, between on how that's going to work. But to your point, Jamie, I think what you're trying to get at is if they push a little bit too far, right, meaning they say no work from home, right, or no remote work, right, they're going to agitate a group of people, right? If they say no one can come into the office anymore, we're selling the building or whatever, right, they're going to agitate a bunch of people because they want that stability, right, to be in the office. So it's an ongoing question, right? So you got to be careful when you make decisions around these things where you don't lose people who are going to be the basically running the company, right, and making things happen. But then you want to be able to attract talent, right, by giving flexibility, right, and adopting the types of ways people want to work. So it's a very hard thing right now to deal with. In the news, there's been a lot of talk about the high-tech companies, right, have been letting a lot of people go. And so, how does a company manage their workforce effectively to know that, hey, maybe I'm overhiring, right? Maybe I was afraid these people were going to leave, right? Or so I just kept gobbling people up versus a approach of what can I do with my current workforce? And how can I make sure they're being utilized in the best way possible to get the outcomes we want versus trying to stack the deck and create an overload situation. So companies have to evaluate that, just like in a small business. You got to evaluate how many people you need. You got to evaluate how much you're going to pay them. You got to same thing in a company, right? And as a leader in a company, you have to help make those decisions, right? You have to figure out who's of value, right, to the organization, the work we do.
So